Hello, welcome back to my channel and welcome to my morning routine. I chose today to do this video. I'm looking a little bit exhausted today. I did not have a good night's sleep, but this is the best day for me to bring you along for my morning routine. So we're gonna get to it. Before I jump in with the actual steps, I wanna give you a reminder that I like sharing my routines to give you inspiration, to give you ideas, as well as maybe give you some tips on implementing your own routines. But remember, this is mine. It is based on my goals, my work situation, and all kinds of things. So just because you see mine or anybody else's any kind of routine on the internet doesn't mean that you are a failure or you are not anything just because yours looks different. Yours is about your life and your goals. So I want you to keep that in mind as I share mine with you today. So the day that I am filming this morning routine, I am 27 weeks pregnant. This has been my morning routine for most of the second trimester. I can't say all because it did take me a couple of weeks to get out of the really bad nausea phase of the first trimester. So it was like maybe 3 to 4 weeks into the second trimester that I really found my groove with this as my morning routine and hoping to carry it as much as possible into the third trimester. But as always, my routine is constantly changing. Pregnant or not, my routine changes all the time. I'm either adding something small, taking something away, adding more time, adding less time, moving things around in a different order. Especially being in a new apartment, I have learned the order that I want to do the different steps in. So while I am excited to share this with you today, just know that this is a snapshot of what my morning routine looks like right now, and it is always changing. Last thing I'm gonna say, world's longest intro. I don't do my morning routine perfectly every single day. In fact, it is rare that I don't skip at least one step. And I'm even gonna skip a step today. Normally when I film my routines, I do all of the steps, and it's like the one time that I actually do all of the steps as they are in my app. I'm not even gonna end up doing that today. We'll talk about that later. But just know that I skip steps all of the time, depending on how I'm feeling, what my day looks like, what other commitments I have, etc. First up, this isn't even the start to my morning in general. Since being pregnant, I have needed to eat pretty much the second that I wake up to really help with the nausea throughout the day. Didn't really do that much in my first trimester, but nowadays I make it a priority. As soon as I get up, I eat a bowl of cereal. So the first part of my morning that is not part of what I would consider my morning routine, even though it is something I do every single day, is I get a bowl of Honey Nut Cheerios. Actually, it's the Kroger brand of Honey Nut Cheerios. And I take it back to bed and I sit in bed and I eat my Cheerios. Usually Charlie comes and snuggles, and then I usually will lay there and either watch an episode of something, finish the episode I fell asleep in the night before, scroll my phone, etc., and kind of take a little bit of rest time in the morning before I kick off this actual routine. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and click play on my app. I know I've mentioned this before, but in case this is your first time joining me for one of these, I do use an app called Routinery. Just because you don't use an app or you don't want to use a routine tracking app does not mean that you can't be successful at routines. For me personally, the app helps me remember all the steps in my routine, especially now with pregnancy brain. Number two, it helps me be more efficient. So I rearrange, you'll see, I rearrange the apps based on the room that I'm in, etc., and it makes it a lot more efficient, and I can, again, remember it. And then the last benefit for me is having an estimate of when the routine is going to end. This is less important or less valuable now that I do work for myself, because I do have a little bit of flexibility to when I start my day. When I was working my 9-to-5 job, that was a key part of the app for me, knowing exactly, okay, if I do all the steps from this point forward, my routine is gonna end at this time. Is that enough time before I need to start work? And if the answer is no, then I knew I needed to skip steps. I still use that feature if I have a hard start, like I have a call scheduled, I have an appointment, or I have something I have to get to. If I don't really care as much about that feature. I do have time estimates in here for all of my steps. I mean, pretty good. Like, they're pretty accurate at this point because I've been doing most of them for so long, but I also am not stressed out by the timer countdown or it buzzing to tell me to move on. That doesn't frustrate or like fluster me at all. I have heard from other people that's a struggle they have with the app. If that is the case for you, you have two options. One is you make it the time ridiculously long, like you could never possibly hit that, so it won't ever tell you to move on. The other option is you do them all for like 1 minute, and it's more of like a tracking list app, and they're always going to go over. In either of those scenarios, you're not gonna be able to use the feature of estimating when it's going to be done, but pros and cons depending on what the priority is for you if you do wanna use a routine tracking app. All right, let's get going. So the first thing that I do is I come into the bathroom and I do like a little bit of skincare, just kind of waking myself up. I'm also gonna put my hair up in a ponytail so I don't have to deal with it during this video. Full disclosure, usually for this step, I'm still in my pajamas. I haven't changed out of my pajamas yet, but for the sake of this video, I decided not to be in pajamas. I guess you would have no idea this could pass as pajamas, but if you watch my recent favorites video, I talked about the nightgown that I'm obsessed with. That's what I pretty much wear all the time. So, and I decided that didn't need to be on the internet, so I changed out my nightgown and just put on like a t-shirt and sweatpants. I am gonna put my hair up to get it out of my face. And then if you watch some of my morning routine videos, a lot of this is gonna look the same. The products are gonna look the same. I start with a micellar water, just on a cotton pad, just to kind of wake my face up and get all the ick that was on my face from the night before. Obviously my skin is clean because I washed my face last night, but somehow there's still stuff on my face in the morning. And then I have been loving this Pixie Hydrating Milky Mist. I feel like I have been using it for a very long time. Like, y'all may remember better than I did when I bought this, and I use it pretty much every morning and still haven't really made a dent in it. At least it doesn't look like it. And then last step is taking my vitamins, or part of them anyway. I use a old school vitamin sorter. This just makes my life so much easier. So I've got my prenatal gummy vitamins, and then if I still have water, I brought my water in here with me from the bedroom. If there's still water in here, which there is, then I will take my other vitamins in here. Otherwise, I don't know why I'm getting so detailed. I will take them with me to the next step in the kitchen. I have my baby aspirin and my ginger capsule. Then I go into the kitchen to do a couple of steps. I start by making sure Charlie's bowl is filled to the top with food, and then I go ahead and make my iced coffee. I just have been buying a pre-made cold brew and add a good amount of half and half because it's been helping with my pregnancy heartburn. And then I also go ahead and make sure my water has ice and is filled to the top. Then it is back to the bedroom to get the bed made. I have been struggling to get the sheets to stay on the bed. I don't know if it's our new king size mattress or just all of my moving during the night. Making the bed also used to not be a part of my morning routine because I used to get up before Sam, so he would make the bed, but now I am always the second one out of the bed, so I am getting the bed made. Then I get my one load of laundry started. I know I've talked about this in goals videos. This was a habit that I started when we lived in New York and had laundry in our unit. We no longer have laundry in our unit, but the laundry room is on the same floor as our apartment. So it's really not that big of a deal for me to go to the laundry room and get my one load of laundry started. All right, the laundry is going. I do set a timer since it is a community laundry room. I don't like to be that person that just leaves my stuff in there when it's done. But most mornings, we'll see how it goes today because filming always adds extra time to doing anything. But most mornings, my morning routine will line up nicely. And you'll also see the last thing before switching the laundry to the dryer is like an adjustable step that I could make take longer or shorter depending on what the laundry situation is like. So I've got the timer going, and now it's into my office to do the first couple of office things are for me. So things that make me feel like a better me and things that I want to start my day with. So I start with a daily reader. A daily reader, like a page a day, is what got me started with my morning routine to begin with, and it's one of my favorite steps to continue to include. I started with the Daily Stoic, which I love, and this year I am reading the book I Really Needed This Today by Hoda from the Today Show. Then I updated my gratitude journal, which at some point this year I had to let go of. So there's a couple of blank months in there, but I have gotten back into it and didn't worry about playing catch up. In an ideal world, I would then move into a journal. I was using the Moxie Life Daily Intentions Journal. I have not focused on adding that back in yet, but I keep it in my app so that I don't forget that I want to get to it eventually. And then I spend a little bit of time going through my photos on my phone. I've been skipping this one a lot lately. I went ahead and did it today since I was filming, and because I already know that I'm actually going to prioritize this big time in Q3. Next step in my morning is getting my day all planned out. I like planning my day in the morning because then I can adjust it based on how I'm actually feeling that day. I've always found that when I plan the night before, I am so much more ambitious than what I am actually able to get done. Like the night before Laken, even though I'm not a night person and I'm usually tired, for whatever reason, is way more ambitious than the next day, Laken. So planning out my day on my daily notepad. Love this thing. I created it myself because this is exactly what I wanted. You can get a physical version like this, or I also have a printable, downloadable version that has one with and without times. So I'm labeling my 3 sections. And now let's go ahead and figure out what the plan is. So I started my AM routine at about 9. Like I said, in the app, it takes about 2 hours and 15 minutes, although I am gonna skip some steps, but filming and setting everything up while I'm doing it adds time. So I'm gonna go ahead and give myself 2 hours to do this since I am going to be filming it. And then I have just a bunch of stuff that I'd like to get to today. This is kind of a boring plan with me kind of day because there's not a whole lot, just me doing a bunch of tasks. And I don't have any other plans. So I'm just gonna put a bunch of these dots from the dot marker. I don't try to estimate exactly how long each of these things are gonna take. I've talked about this before in Plan With Me videos, but putting them like this doesn't mean that I'm gonna be done by 3 because some of these things are gonna take longer than that. But instead of saying like, I'm gonna do this from 11 to 12 and this from 12 to 1, if something takes more time or less time than I gave it, because then if I get off, I get like, it flusters me. And so I'm better off just like making the list. In my Google Cal, each of these things has a time, an estimated time, I think, and it fits within a reasonable amount of time for the day. So I know it's a reasonable amount of things that I could get to today if everything takes what I think it's going to take. But on my actual daily planner, I like just making it as a list. So I'm gonna film 2 things. Oh, I'm really tempted to do these things right now while the camera is already in this setup. It's really not that hard to set it up like this. I love my camera stand. That was one of the best investments I ever made in my business, was my camera stand. And then just a bunch of other things. I don't ever schedule calls for Fridays if I can avoid it. I mean, I don't schedule any one-on-one coaching calls and any community coaching calls that I'm in control of. And then to the best of my ability, I don't schedule any other like business related calls. I just like having that flexibility to power through things on Friday. And then we don't have any plans tonight. My husband is currently studying for his CFP. So that is what takes up most of his extra non-work hours. So I am probably just gonna work and then rest, probably take a bath. Like, it's a really chill day today. Then I snap a picture of this planner and I post it in my community Facebook group. So if you wanna see pictures and snapshots of my planners, both weekly and daily on a more regular basis, other than just when I post planner videos or vlogs that include Plan With Me's, come join the Goals with Laken community. Although, actually, don't join the community just to see my planner. Like, that is not the value of the community. The community provides so much more value other than seeing my planner every day. Then I will do a few work-related things, mostly communication and responses that I don't like to let build up. So I'll start by responding to the text messages from our community members. That is a perk that is worth talking about related to the community. You get a daily text from me, but then you also have access to text me with any questions or any specific things that you need. And so I always make sure to set aside some time in my morning routine to respond to texts that came in from the community members since the last time that I checked them. If you're interested in joining the community, the link is in the description box below with all of the additional information and all the other things that the community membership comes with. Then, yes, I do have it in here to check birthdays on Facebook and wish anybody a happy birthday. And then the Facebook step in here is responding to comments in the community Facebook group. Then I will check my Instagram DMs and respond to any of those that came in overnight. And then the last step at my computer is going through finances. So I will check both our personal finances. We use You Need a Budget or YNAB to track our personal finances. So I will go in and update any transactions from the prior day. And then I will also update any transactions for my business finances, which I do in Wave accounting software. All right, so here's where we get to the point that I have a step that I can adjust based on how much longer the laundry has, what other things I have going on. Some days also, by the way, I actually don't do a load of laundry because either we're all caught up or I just know that I don't want to be tied to the timing of laundry today. So the next step is to read, and like this is to read a nonfiction book. So I've got all my nonfiction books that I'm reading back over here, which are mostly just pregnancy books. And so I have 10 minutes in my app because if everything takes the amount of time that I think it's going to take, that will line up with the laundry. But today, the laundry has 4 minutes left. And that's because it takes more time for me to set up the camera and film while I'm also doing the steps this morning. So I'm only gonna read for about 4 minutes. And then when the timer goes off, I will go switch the laundry from the washer into the dryer. after I've moved the laundry from the washer into the dryers take 45 minutes. So I try to the best of my abilities to make this next chunk of stuff take about 45 minutes. Now, if I do everything as it is on my app, it's way more than 45 minutes, but it's very rare that I'm doing absolutely everything. Somebody wanted to say hello. So first up is working out, and I do have 30 minutes in my app. I never, like the workouts that I'm doing, the workout program I'm doing is the prenatal program from my friend Justina. And those workouts are rarely that long. It's usually closer to 20 minutes. So if I do get a workout in, it's usually closer to 20 minutes. That one I do try to not skip. Like I try to get that in. It doesn't happen every single day. And in fact, we are not doing it today, but that is because I have a injury that I'm currently trying to heal. It's not that big of an injury, but when you're pregnant, it feels a lot extra. I would probably power through it if I wasn't pregnant, but I'm being very lazy about it. So, in full disclosure, nothing to do with my morning routine. I'm also in that mindset of like, it's almost a new month, and I'm kind of just feeling meh and want to start fresh when the new month starts. I know that's not what I tell you to do, but that's where I'm at. Then the next step is to clean something. And if you have watched my goals videos, I've been working on a cleaning routine for this new apartment, and I tried weekly, that didn't work. And then I tried, well, I'm trying daily, but without being specific. And that sometimes works. Especially if I skip the workout, I will try to clean something, and then it's some kind of movement and I'm getting some cleaning in. The difference is that if I don't work out in this time slot in my morning routine, I won't do it later. Unless I'm like going on a walk with my mom, like I won't do an actual workout later in the day. If I don't clean something during the slot in my morning routine, then I might still clean something. Like I might still do it. It's on my goals to do every day, and I might still get it done later in the day, even if I don't do it in the morning. And then kind of whether I do one or both also really depends on how much getting ready I'm gonna be doing. If I know that I'm gonna be filming for the day, or it's the day that I have a live and I'm gonna do my hair and my makeup and do all the things, I know that the rest of the morning routine is going to take a lot longer. And so I usually will for sure skip the cleaning step if I'm gonna be getting fully ready, and then the workout, it just kind of depends. So now we're back in the bathroom. I'm not gonna do either of those steps today in case that wasn't clear. Not necessarily because I don't have time, because I'm not getting fully ready, but I just well, I told you why I'm not doing the workout, and I'm not gonna clean something because I really do just kind of wanna get on with my day. My morning routine has taken me long enough while I've been setting up and filming things. So I just want to keep moving. So the next step would be to shower. I'm also not gonna do that because I showered last night before bed. What's next? Oh, my skincare. Okay, so I did like a little bit of skincare earlier, obviously you saw that. Now is when I do like my daytime. So I put on a daytime moisturizer. Sorry, I didn't show that to you. It's the CeraVe, just from the drugstore, daily moisturizer. I don't know if my skin actually loves this, but I bought this giant bottle of it, so I'm gonna finish it. And then as always, my favorite sunscreen, which is the matte screen from Supergoop. I just bought a bunch of these. They were having a sale and I just restocked to have a bunch of these ready to go. So I'll put on my sunscreen, even if I don't have plans to leave the house today, which I don't, even though I should leave the house every day and get some fresh air, some sunlight. But somebody told me once that vitamin D rays, especially in the summer, can come through your windows. So I put sunscreen on anyways. And then I move on to getting ready. And again, this only has 10 minutes in my app because I do know if I'm gonna get more ready, I will skip the cleaning routine and then I get a full 20 minutes. When I'm not getting fully ready, I'm gonna do two things, which are made so much easier from a service that I got done last week, which is part of a vlog that will be coming out later. I may or may not have announced this or told you this on some point yet, but if you're watching this video, I am filming weekly vlogs during pregnancy right now, and they're gonna come out later on once the baby's here. So I talked about this in a vlog, but I got my eyebrows tinted, so I just run the spoolie through them to make them a little bit more, this is hard to do in that viewfinder, sorry, to make them just nice. And then I also got my eyelashes tinted, but not lifted, because lifted is not recommended while you are pregnant. So I have been curling them. And truthfully, I don't know if I'm gonna get them lifted. Like, I don't know if I wanna pay for that, because this is so easy. And like, what's the difference between getting them lifted and just curling them? Is there a difference? I don't know. Anybody, if you have any familiarity with this, I would love to know down in the comments. Is there anything? Because I just love like the way it looks. I mean, I like that they're tinted, but then when I curl them, they do enough. and then some chapstick or some lip balm. That's it. That's all I'm doing today, because I don't have any plans to go anywhere. I'm filming this, but I'm filming some top down stuff, but I'm not filming anything front facing, so I don't need to look any kind of certain way. All that's left is to brush my teeth and then go put the laundry away, which it's not done because I skipped all of those steps. So I've got the timer set. My laundry's got another 25 minutes to go. So I will go fold that laundry. Let's be real, I'm not gonna do it. I'll go get it out in 25 minutes because I don't wanna be that person, but I probably won't fold it until much later today. I'm gonna go get some work done, take advantage of my morning energy and applying that to work right now. So that is gonna be it for this morning routine. Hopefully you found it interesting. Once again, I wanna remind you, this is my routine based on my life and my goals and my needs and my energy levels. You figure out the best routines for you, both for morning and evening and any other routines that you want to implement. So if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, please click that subscribe button. I upload new videos every week focused on helping you achieve your goals. Thank you so much for watching. That I skip steps. I don't know why I can't say the sentence. Is that right? Why is my brain not sure if that's the right thing I'm about to say? Hang on. Especially if I skip my morning routine. No, that's not what I meant to say.